Okay, that was fun. Welcome back, everybody. Driven Dave here. Just a quick video. I wanted to talk about basic autopilot. It may have looked like I was driving, but I just have my hand on the steering wheel. As you can see, the two little blue lines are engaged, and that means basic autopilot is working. I don't have full self-driving on this car. For those of you that are not familiar with how these cars are equipped, at least as of right now, all the Teslas come with basic autopilot. So that means it'll do basically lane centering and match speed. So, but it is a driver aid, like a driver assistant, not full self-driving. It will do some steering without my hand on the wheel. So we'll try this one. So you can see, but the steering wheel is constantly looking for a little bit of force from my hand. So we'll show you here. This screen, see, now it says apply slight turning force. Now it's flashing blue. Then it'll get really ticked off. Oops, and I accidentally shut it off. So I'm just gonna keep my hand on the wheel, or for the most part, and kind of just show you. I mean, look at this beautiful drive. It's amazing. Of course, these folks aren't so happy. This won't let me go over 40 miles an hour because of the auto steer and whatever. I may go a little faster and see if it will continue steering. I guess it just won't hold speed and steering for me. But let's see how it handles a couple of corners. When I hit record, we were going around that corner, and autopilot didn't do a very good job. So, kind of the purpose of this video is to show you, yes, it does work. Yes, it's a nice feature, but it is not a full self-driving thing. You do need to pay attention and actually drive. The speed limit's 35 here. So, I mean, and I agree it's too slow, but man, how fast do these people want to go? Really beautiful drive though. I'm sure the camera isn't doing it justice. So far, the car has actually been doing all of this steering. And that gets a little scary when you've got oncoming traffic in the other lane. Oh good, we're up to 55. Come on, there we go. So generally the auto steer, autopilot, whatever you want to call it, will allow for 5 miles over. I'm taking over. So we're getting a little close to those cars, and I don't like that. Oh good, nope. So sometimes, especially at the higher speeds, I just feel like the car doesn't do as good of a job while driving. So I think I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to come back when I don't have a Dodge Charger on my tail, and hopefully be able to demonstrate some more of these curvy roads. Okay, we're back. Ooh, let's see how it does. Okay, it's doing all the braking and all the steering. My hand is, oops, come on. There we go. So sometimes if you have your hand on the wheel and you pull it just a little too hard, it'll disengage. Yeah, it's doing okay. Again, I'm not steering, I'm just holding. I wonder if that's the car saying oh, why didn't you take it? Got us a little close to the gravel there. And see, if you can look at where the fender is, it's getting pretty close to that double yellow at times, which is kind of my complaint with auto steer. Forward collision warning. Obviously, and I know somebody in the comments has probably already said, well, autopilot is really for the freeways and you shouldn't be, I know. I just wanted to show what it can and can't do. That's all. Because I thought it might be interesting. It is to me anyway. That's always my general philosophy with making these videos, is if I find it interesting, if it's something that I want to find out about, or I figure somebody else might have the same thought. Hey, what if I take a canyon road? How does autopilot handle it? So the answer is not very well, and it takes all the fun out of out of driving a canyon, because I would never drive this slowly. I mean, of course, I would obey the speed limit at all times. I mean, yeah, I totally. You know, unless we're in like a closed course in Mexico, then I would do whatever I want. This looks a lot like the last closed course in Mexico I was in. Pretty nice. So pretty. So pretty. This is one of those drives that I do. Well, let's see how it handles this corner. Please brake it. You know, I chickened out. I took control there. I was like, man, we're not turning in aggressively enough. And that's kind of like my biggest issue with the autopilot steering, is that sometimes, you know, it's like you can see that it can see there's a turn, and yet it really kind of applies the steering force a little bit late, like later than where you think it should. And that's pretty annoying. But this is one of those drives that I do most weeks. I work up in Lancaster, and then I work in Ventura. Why are we... I wouldn't call that phantom braking. I think that's just... I thought we were going to hit that truck for some reason. Fair enough. In any case, I have to go from like... north of Glendale, up to Ventura, up to Lancaster, and then to Ventura, and then home. So I end up sucking down a lot of juice. I decided to kind of keep pace with that Dodge Charger, and there was like a Chevy Silverado. I mean, they were really booking it, and so I let them pass me, and then I just kind of kept pace with them because it was kind of fun. And this car does that really well. It's just like when I have a long day of work like this, I kind of like to take it easy, you know, especially on this drive. And this drive is so technical. And there's somebody that wants to pass. I'm going to do them a kindness and slow down a little bit. There you go. I always think, you know, hey, if they really want to pass, like, let them. And don't put them in danger. You know, obviously they're in a hurry, and, you know, hey, let's let them get out of the way. That's fine. Or I'll get out of their way, more like. It's so pretty here. I believe it's called San Francisquito Canyon. See, we're pretty close on that double yellow. I chickened out because I felt like we were going to go into the ditch a little bit there. And that just kind of goes back to my original point. Autopilot is a driver assist. It is not a driver. Come on. And so I have mixed feelings. Like on a drive like this, where I'm kind of in between work, I would like to just kind of zone out a little bit and relax. Sorry. See, that was one where like it didn't slow down at all, and it wasn't steering fast enough, so really had to take over. So yeah, I think like maybe on this road, like cruise control is nice. So just one tap of the stalk, and then you do the steering. I think that makes more sense. Come on, regen. I had to get on the friction brakes a little bit there. The car handles great. I mean, really no complaints about that. This is the long range model, so it has kind of the softer suspension. I do find myself wondering what it would be like to own the Model 3 Performance, and maybe I'll find out in the future. I'd sure love to drive a Model 3 Performance. If any of you have one and you'd like to give me a go at it for a video, I'd sure appreciate it. You can drop a comment in the video here, or shoot an email, drivendave1@gmail.com, or you can catch me on Instagram, thedrivendave, or on Twitter, thedrivendave. And please follow if you can. I'm still a little new to the social media stuff, so forgive me if I'm using the wrong terminology. But yeah, so in conclusion, I would say that for a canyon drive, I mean, obviously you probably wouldn't take a canyon and expect to have the car drive you, but my recommendation would be just drive yourself, because it's really not I did not find it more relaxing to have the car handle those corners. If anything, it added some gray hairs and shortened my life a bit. So, you know, not a fan of that. We're back to civilization. Let's do just a gentle roll on the power. Wow. God, that's fast. I'm still amazed. And yet, I find myself wanting the Model S Plaid. I think I'm ready. It's been a month. I'm ready to upgrade. Elon, you know, if you want to hook it up, I'd appreciate it. And if any of you have a Model S Plaid out there that you'd like to let me have a go in, I would be very honored. Also, for that matter, just a Model S. I would love to get my hands on a Model S. So if you have one of those and you wouldn't mind letting me drive it and do a video, I would love that. And it could be anything. I don't care if it's a 60D, you know, smallest battery, don't care. I would just love to check out a Model S. Even if it's like a 2012, that's even better, because like those are kind of cool now. Almost retro, but yet they still look modern. I mean, no disrespect. I just mean like they're like the OG Teslas, and I think that's cool. So anyway, folks, I think I'm gonna call it a day on this video, and I hope you found it entertaining, or if you were trying to go to sleep, I hope it was soothing. And if you have any questions, things you'd like to see about Autopilot, and the, you know, further its capabilities, I'd be happy to show you. Maybe I'll turn it on one more time now that we're on like not a freeway, but a little bit more of a regular road. And as you can see, I'm not steering, I'm just applying pressure. Pretty good here. I feel like it's monitoring the lines pretty well. You can see it's holding itself nicely, keeping up with traffic. So, you know, for a road like this, I use it a lot. I think it's a nice way to kind of save on driver fatigue a little bit. But yeah, on those more technical corners, not so much. Not a fan. Do not recommend. 0 out of 5 stars. Any questions? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for watching. I appreciate it so much. If you enjoy content like this, please, pretty please, subscribe. I would really... Why did I apply the brakes? I know the car would have handled that just fine. I turned it back on. Please subscribe. That's the best thing you can do for my channel right now. I'd really appreciate it. Drop us a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. Drop a comment. You can say anything you want. I appreciate the nice things more than the mean things, but comment's a comment. So thank you, and go on your merry way, even if it's not nice. So pretty, man. What a beautiful part of California here. We're getting into kind of Santa Clarita here. This is where Tesla Tips and Tricks lives, and I believe his name is Kerry. I'm hoping I get to meet him one of these days. It'd be fun to do a collaboration, if he wants, you know. But he's rocking over there. Go subscribe to him. He's got like 5,000 now. So good for you, Kerry. Keep up the great work. Okay, friends. I will see you in the next one. Take care.